For years, the American passport was a symbol of privilege, a fast pass to almost anywhere on the planet. That iconic blue booklet was once a symbol of global access. No questions asked, no visas required, but that era is slipping away. More and more countries are tightening their entry rules for U.S. travelers. What if I told you that places which once welcomed Americans with open arms and no paperwork are now slamming the door you have require visa, and sometimes on a tough one to get? This shift isn't happening in far-off, hostile regions. It's happening in places Americans love. Vacation getaways, close allies, and key economic partners. These countries are implementing tougher entry rules, new visa requirements, and in some cases, making it clear that American visitors are no longer a priority. Today, we're counting down 10 countries where Americans once traveled freely, but now need a visa to enter. The age of automatic access is over. Before I start the video, just a small request. We put a lot of work, research, and energy into every single video for you. So if you find this topic helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us keep going. Now let's get started. Number 10, Brazil. Brazil is the vibrant land of Carnival, Copacabana, and Caipirinhas. For decades, it was one of the easiest destinations for Americans to escape to. Sun, samba, and no visa required. But that chapter is now closed. In 2024, Brazil reinstated visa requirements for U.S. citizens, ending the visa-free policy that had been in place since 2019. The official reason? Reciprocity. Brazil's stance is simple. If your country makes it hard for our citizens, we'll do the same. Tit for tat. But let's not pretend that's the whole story. Many Brazilians have grown tired of what they see as disrespectful behavior from American tourists, flouting local customs, ignoring rules, and treating Brazil like a cheap vacation backdrop. The public pushed for change, and the government responded. Now, American travelers must submit applications, show financial proof, itinerary details, and sometimes even sit for interviews. It's not an impossible process, but it's no longer a breezy getaway. Brazil is making a point. No more one-sided arrangements. They're asserting their own dignity and rules, and they're not alone. The age of visa-free American travel in many friendly nations is disappearing. Number 9, Argentina. In 2025, Argentina quietly reinstated visa requirements for American travelers. Officially, the move is about security, but many believe it carries a deeper political message. For years, Argentina embraced U.S. tourists. Buenos Aires became a hotspot for digital nomads, and Patagonia drew adventurers from around the world. But things have shifted. Economic instability, rising nationalism, and a desire to reclaim control over borders set the stage for change. This move didn't happen overnight. It began with a reciprocity fee, then increased border scrutiny, and now culminates in a full visa mandate. The frustration? Argentinians still endure a complex and often frustrating visa process to visit the U.S., while Americans arrived in droves, often showing little cultural sensitivity and exploiting favorable exchange rates. Tourism numbers are already falling. Hotels are emptier, and some locals wonder if the message was worth the cost. But one thing's clear. Argentina wants equality, not just visitors. Number 8, Turkey. Turkey is the vibrant crossroads of East and West, once one of the easiest destinations for Americans to visit. For years, U.S. citizens enjoyed quick and simple access through e-visas or visas on arrival. But in 2024, that changed dramatically. Turkey introduced a tougher visa regime aimed primarily at Western nations, including the United States. Officially, the move is framed as a security upgrade. But the real message is much more complex. Under President Erdogan, Turkey has been openly distancing itself from Western influence, seeking to redefine its role as a strong, independent regional power. The new visa process includes longer approval times, more detailed background checks, mandatory travel insurance, and extra documentation. Critics argue this isn't about safety, and it's about symbolism. Turkish citizens face intense scrutiny when applying for U.S. visas, and Ankara is sending a message. We can make it difficult too. Ironically, this comes as Turkey's tourism sector tries to bounce back. But for Turkish leaders, this is less about dollars and more about dignity, control, and geopolitical signaling. For American travelers, it means more red tape and a lot less welcome. Number 7, Thailand. Thailand is the beloved Southeast Asian haven of beaches, temples, and night markets. Has officially ended visa-free entry for Americans. That's right. As of 2024, the Land of Smiles introduced a tougher immigration policy targeting long-stay abuse. And U.S. citizens are now required to apply for a visa before arrival. For years, Americans, along with many others, enjoyed 30-day visa-free access, easily renewed through so-called visa runs. Digital nomads, backpackers, and expats use this loophole to live in Thailand for months, even years, without paying taxes or contributing meaningfully to the local economy. Thailand's government decided enough was enough. The new rules require U.S. travelers to apply in advance, show proof of onward travel, demonstrate financial stability, and in some cases submit biometric data. A special task force is now monitoring compliance more strictly. And here's the uncomfortable truth. While many nationalities stretch the rules, American travelers often stood out for being the loudest and most entitled. Locals have taken notice. This isn't just policy, it's pushback. Tourism agencies call it responsible reform. But under the surface, it's about fairness, fatigue, and the slow erosion of American travel privilege in Southeast Asia. Number 6, South Africa. This one hasn't made major headlines, but it marks a big shift. In 2025, South Africa officially reinstated visa requirements for U.S. tourists, ending years of hassle-free travel. The move was quietly rolled out in 2024 and fully implemented the following year. The official justification? Enhanced security protocols and passport parity? But many observers see a different story unfolding. South Africa's relationship with the U.S. has been rocky for some time, strained by disputes over trade agreements, climate negotiations, and divergent positions in global diplomacy. The visa-free arrangement had long been viewed as a symbolic gesture of goodwill. That goodwill has now evaporated. American travelers now face a much more demanding process. Extensive background checks, proof of financial documents, biometric scanning, and detailed travel plans. While the government says it's aligning with global standards, the subtext is clear. This is a recalibration of power. South Africa is signaling that Western privilege no longer applies by default. It's a move about sovereignty, self-respect, and rebalancing diplomatic dynamics. Number 5, Indonesia. Indonesia was once the go-to paradise for budget travelers, beach lovers, and digital nomads alike. Bali became synonymous with influencer escapism, and remote workers flocked to its tropical shores. But as of 2024, the visa-free ride for Americans has come to a halt. Under the newly enacted Tourism Fairness Act, the Indonesian government now requires U.S. citizens to obtain a pre-approved visa before entry. The official explanation? To crack down on tourist misuse. In reality, it's a response to years of visa overstays, under-the-table work, and growing frustration with foreign visitors, particularly those seen as disrespecting local culture. Fair or not, Americans have become the face of this issue. Now, travelers from the U.S. must apply at least a month in advance, provide lodging details, financial proof, and even pass a basic character review. One controversial element, a proposed ethics clause that could deny entry based on online behavior. The online backlash has been fierce. Travel influencers and nomads are outraged, but Indonesia isn't budging. Local leaders are sending a clear message. Respect the rules or stay home. The age of easy entry is over, and Bali is no longer open for carefree, consequence-free tourism. Number 4, Morocco. Morocco. Once a beloved destination for American travelers, rich with culture, color, and coastal charm, has officially tightened its borders. As of 2025, U.S. citizens are now required to obtain a visa before entering the country. This shift comes under the newly passed National Sovereignty and Border Regulation Act, a law aimed at giving Morocco greater control over who crosses its borders. The reasons officially, it's about national security. Moroccan authorities have voiced frustration for years over the lack of intelligence sharing from the U.S., especially concerning travelers flagged as potential risks. Without access to that data, Morocco decided to take matters into its own hands. But that's only part of the story. The recent surge of digital nomads and short-term expats in places like Marrakesh and Fez has driven up living costs and strained local communities. Youth organizations and activist groups have been calling for tighter tourist regulations, and the government listened. Now, Americans must apply for a visa in advance, submit background information, and provide travel plans. What was once an easy getaway to North Africa has become a paperwork-heavy process. The message is clear: Morocco is reclaiming control, and American travelers are no longer the exception to the rules. Number 3, Malaysia. Malaysia. Take a bold and unexpected decision. Malaysia ended visa-free access for U.S. passport holders in 2025. The official reasons? Security concerns and the principle of mutual respect. But beneath the surface, many see it as a pointed response to years of diplomatic friction, particularly over how Malaysians have been treated by the U.S. immigration system. For years, Malaysian citizens have complained about facing long waits, excessive scrutiny, and even unjust denials when applying for U.S. visas, some with valid approvals being turned away at the border. After mounting pressure from nationalist political groups and public frustration, Malaysian authorities decided to level the playing field. Under the new rules, Americans must now apply in advance, submit financial documentation, proof of onward travel, and for extended stays, even attend an in-person interview. The result? A sharp drop in American tourist numbers. But Malaysia doesn't seem fazed. Officials say this isn't about punishing travelers. It's about asserting sovereignty and demanding equal treatment on the world stage. The days of automatic welcome mats for Americans are clearly numbered, even in places once known for hospitality. Number 2. Kenya. Kenya stunned the travel world in early 2025 by ending visa-free access for U.S. citizens, marking a dramatic shift in East Africa's approach to international travel policy. This move is part of a broader African Union campaign aimed at securing reciprocity from Western countries, especially the United States. Kenya's foreign ministry was unapologetically direct. We are no longer accepting unequal treatment. Americans should face the same hurdles our citizens face when applying to visit the U.S. Under the new policy, American travelers must now apply for an e-visa in advance. The process includes thorough background checks, submission of a full travel itinerary, proof of accommodation, and explanation of the visit's purpose. Tourist visas are strictly limited to 30 days with no extensions allowed. Any violation, even accidental overstays, leads to automatic blacklisting. While some travelers were outraged, Kenyan officials remain firm. This isn't just a visa policy, it's a statement. Kenya, like many of its African neighbors, is demanding equal treatment, respect, and a say in the rules that shape global mobility. The days of automatic access for American passports are coming to an end, even in long welcoming nations like Kenya. Number 1. UAE. UAE is the ultra-modern Gulf state, known for its towering skylines, luxury shopping, and American-friendly policies has drawn a line in the sand. In 2025, the United Arab Emirates officially dropped the U.S. from its visa-free list, pointing to non-reciprocal entry policies and updated security requirements. In plain language, you make it hard for us, we'll make it hard for you. But this is more than just policy, it's about power. The UAE, once reliant on Western visitors and business deals, is rebranding itself as a sovereign force in a post-oil, post-American dominant era. Now, U.S. citizens must apply for a pre-approved visa, often a multi-week wait with added documentation. Business elites are frustrated, tourists are baffled. The message is clear. The days of automatic American privilege are over. This is about reciprocity. Across the globe, countries are standing up, recalibrating their relationships with the West. The UAE isn't isolating, it's equalizing. The world is changing, and the American passport no longer guarantees a free pass. If you're still watching, chances are you're surprised, maybe even frustrated. But let's be honest, the global balance is shifting, and the American passport no longer guarantees VIP treatment. The era of breezing through borders just because of where you're from? That's fading fast. It's time to change how we travel. Be more mindful, be more respectful. Recognize that when you enter another country, you're a guest, not a ruler. That means playing by their rules and understanding their reasons. And here's a challenge. Start advocating for fairness both ways. If you want Americans to be welcomed abroad, push for your country to make visiting the U.S. less of a bureaucratic nightmare for others. So there you have it. 10 countries where Americans used to travel visa-free, but now face new restrictions. Whether it's due to changing international policies, diplomatic tensions, or new security requirements, the world is reminding travelers, nothing stays the same forever. What do you think about these changes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've experienced visa surprises, we'd love to hear your story. If you found this video helpful, give it thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're always in the know on the latest global travel updates. Thanks for watching.